Hello and welcome to episode 2 of LDPD, the Lockdown Poddown. Alright, let's get cracking, shall we? It is nearly Christmas. Oh, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Mainly because every other dickhead puts up their Christmas decorations on November 1st, even though we've only just had Halloween. It's not even bonfire night, and it isn't even December yet. Oh, Jesus. Honestly, I'm a bit of a Christmas grouch, I have to admit. I mean, we're in December now, to be fair, but it just gets worse every year, doesn't it? Now we've got every Beverly and Karen putting up their pictures on social media of their new Christmas tree that they're all so excited about. Fuck off, Karen. You've got kids out of college. Nobody who has a mortgage should be excited about Christmas, let's be real. Unless you have children. If you've got children, alright. I get it. It's fun and exciting, but it just won't be the same, man. I mean, it's not going to snow this year. It doesn't snow any year, let's be real, but it's probably for the best that it's not going to snow this year because what with the ultra woke sensitivity that we have nowadays, you won't be able to build snowmen. It will be snow people. Honestly, I've never had to worry about building a snowman and making sure that I've checked its sexual orientation before. Well, in my garden, we only do polyamorous snow people. I mean, I always check the gender of the snow before I cup it up into a ball. Jesus Christ. When I was a kid, honestly, that carrot wasn't going to be used to make his fucking nose, I'll tell you that much. It was pretty clear it was going to be a snowman. I don't know why I get so frustrated with Christmas. I think it's just because I see other people having joy. It just seems to grind me to know that they're having fun. And I don't put up Christmas decorations in my house. I just can't be asked. Who's it for? I live on my own. I'm not going to do it for myself, just to remind myself of the Christmas cheer and spirit that I don't fucking have. Although, to be fair, I usually do get a fair bit of Christmas spirit. Towards the end of December, I get a fair bit of Christmas spirit. It usually is whiskey, sometimes vodka, and often it can also be gin. So what else? Well, I was struggling to sleep the other night, so I decided I was going to have a look at ASMR. And I tell you what, ASMR is the biggest load of shite I have ever seen. Oh, hang on, let me do this properly. ASMR is the biggest load of shite I have ever seen. There you go. Does that put chills down your spine? Does it give you a little fucking goose boner? I was scrolling through YouTube checking out some ASMR, and all of the thumbnails I see is some fucking hot woman with her tits hanging out, and it's got 3 million views, and I start to think to myself, well, I wonder why that's so popular. Of course, the camera angle is a little POV style, looking straight down the cleavage. The only thing that taught me is that sex still sells. For those who don't know, ASMR, of course, stands for aniseed, salamander, mother's milk, and of course, ribbit. I don't fucking know. What does it stand for? Extrasensory something something? Who gives a shit, man? It's people brushing combs into a fucking microphone and getting 1,000 hits. And then they seem to think that they always do their little intro at the beginning. Hi guys, just to get you updated, I put up my Christmas decorations. Stocking's been fed. Okay, let's do some ASMR. You think, oh, Jesus Christ. The problem is these people get all of these views, and they seem to think it's because of their fucking personality, as opposed to the fact that they are literally just brushing something into a microphone, and it apparently gives some people a little boner. Although I say that, I did find one clip, which I did watch, and it was an unintentional ASMR session, apparently. According to the little title, it was a doctor's appointment. That was an unintentional ASMR, and I watched it. And I'll be honest, it was kind of fun. Yeah, it sort of relaxed me. It was a very calming voice, and we were going through the standard exam. It was a slightly older woman with a more middle-aged gentleman, and it got to the point of the oral exam. Now, I struggle to watch doctor's appointments without assuming they're going to get naked and fuck each other anyway. But then we get to the oral exam, and this is where shit started to turn. So I was sitting there in my bed. I was getting quite relaxed. She was saying, okay, sir, if you would like to just look up and look to your left. And now look to your right. Fantastic, that's lovely. Well, I can't see any issues with your visuals, so we're going to move on to the oral exam. She then proceeds to get out one of those classic lollipop sticks that doctors always seem to fucking have. And she says, okay, sir, if you wouldn't mind just opening your mouth wide, and if you could lift your tongue, and now back down again, Now say ah. And just as he said ah, she rammed that lollipop stick straight to the back of his throat. I was laying in my bed like, oh, well, this is quite relaxing. And say ah, ah. It's the biggest gag noise I'd ever heard. Oh, man. It literally woke me straight up from my sleep. I was relaxing all nice and lovely. Oh, God. I broke out in a cold sweat. The guy just looks at her like, is this part of the exam or are you just fucking with me? And she just turns to me and goes, very sorry about that. And then moves on. Wasn't even addressed. Honestly, if a doctor did that, I'd end up slapping him in the fucking face. I mean, maybe that is part of the exam. Maybe they have got to check your gag reflex. But either way, a little warning. Just a little warning. When you click on a thumbnail in porn where it says throat fucking extreme brutality, you've got a sense of what's going to happen. God, those clips. Fuck. There's nothing I hate more than that. We're not going to talk about porn. I know I alluded to it last week, but I'm not. It's too early doors, and if I'm honest, I just end up ranting about it, and it just becomes aggressive. There's not so much comedy as there is more just straight up aggression. So we'll put that one to bed for the time being. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Christmas, I remember this was back in maybe primary school or perhaps even junior school. We had one of those fire marshal people that come in and they talk about fire, health and safety, those sort of things. And this guy, Jesus, man, he was so pretentious. I think he thought he was doing a TED talk as opposed to speaking to a bunch of 8-year-olds. And I only remember this because at the very end of the speech, he said, so this Christmas, rather than asking for a new bike or perhaps a new guitar, why not ask for a new fire alarm? And it just stuck in my head for so long because I thought, what a fucking stupid thing to say to a child. Because part of me was like, oh, that sounds like an adult thing to do. Maybe I'll do that, yeah. Mum, Dad, this Christmas, I would like a fire alarm. Do you know what my dad would have done? He'd have slapped me like I was challenging him for his manhood. What, you don't think I can provide for my family? Well, you don't think I have this safety? That I can't protect you if a fire should happen to ensue? Get the fuck out of here. You'll get a yo-yo like you get every year and you will be fucking thankful for it. A fire alarm. Honestly. I don't know what the guy was thinking. He obviously thought he was being inspirational and, oh God, yeah, no, I feel like I really reached those children today, you know? I think it was the bit at the end. I mean, everyone likes Christmas, but nobody likes fire alarms. So I decided to put 1 and 2 together and hey, that's my speech. Mr. Inspirational. Fucking asshole. So look, lockdown's been tough for a lot of us. It really has. I think a lot of us need to ask ourselves the question of how we feel and how staying in is coping with our mental health. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I have got so much joy out of, which has really held me sturdy for all this time, is 1980s music videos. Oh, guys, they're so good. They're so good. I'm talking the classic hair rock, you know what I mean? The one particular video I'm thinking of is Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. It's a fantastic song. For those who don't know it from the title, you will know it if you hear it. Google it, check it out. There's a particular scene within this. There's a particular scene within this song. So it's the bit, I'm going to butcher this. It's the bit where he goes, here I go again. Here I go. Just as he hits that bit, there is the scene that ensues is that he's in a car with a very beautiful woman. They're tearing down the highway. Everything's great. And he goes to lean in for a kiss. And it is the most open mouth kiss I have ever fucking seen. In fact, I'm going to try and put a screen grab on this on the podcast, so hopefully you can see it. I remember seeing that. I was doing some work at the time. I had it playing in the background, and it just caught my attention as it hit that high note. Oh, have you ever seen someone open mouth that much? Ugh, it makes you feel sick. Fortunately, there's so much hair, so you can't see anything anyway. But it led me to think that sex in the 1980s must have left the bedroom looking like a hungry Wookiee had snuck into the set of Crufts. You know what I mean? Just hair everywhere. And this is right on the back of the 70s. We all know about 70s bushes, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, God. You'd end up going down on a woman, you'd end up with matted hair. Oh, Christ. You know that classic thing about getting a tongue piercing stuck on somebody's cock ring or whatever the fuck it is? Oh, no, what is it? Not a cock ring, is it? What do they call it? Like Prince Albert, that's it, yeah. I was thinking there's a movie that referenced that one time. Well, can you imagine that, but with your hair? You got your fucking great big permed afro and it's caught up in someone's bush. Oh. God, I think I can feel that oral exam coming up again. I don't know what it is about a gag noise, but it makes me laugh so fucking much. But seriously though, guys, check out some 80s hair metal music. It's so great. It's so great. And no matter what your thing is, if it's music videos, if it's music in general, if it's films, if it's anything, if it's creating art, just go for it now. Go for it now whilst this lockdown is still ensuing. I know we're sort of coming out of it. We've got the tier system. Everything is a little bit confusing. But yeah, once this all blows over and the vaccine is out and we're all back to normal, we're going to have to make an effort to go back out and to do things. This has become the norm for nearly a year now, and it'll be tough to break. But with good friends and good family, I know we can all get back to where we should be. Well, that's a nice note. I think I'll wrap it up there. Thank you once again for listening, and I guess I will catch you again next week.